Hello audio enthusiasts, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here because this is perhaps a little more mainstream review, welcome. My name is MrAyrit. I'm mainly a headphone reviewer of Audiophile headphones, which means they're headphones that you can't just walk into like Best Buy and pick up, right? They're more specialized than that. But today's review is for the Airpods Max, which obviously is quite a mainstream product. You can pick it up at any electronics store, things like that, or of course any online retailer that sells anything remotely close to, Apple devices or anything like that. So the real question here, in my mind, right, is are these headphones good enough for an audiophile like myself, understanding that you're gonna have to make some concessions if you're going Bluetooth and if you want active noise canceling and things like that. So really the question is does this have good enough audio quality for the convenience that this headphone gives you? Because it does give you a lot of convenience, right? Especially if you're an Apple user. I mean, probably if you're here, you're an Apple user, right? If you're wondering, should I pick up these Bluetooth headphones for my Android device? I'm going to say there's probably some other stuff out there that you can pick up that's going to be similar quality that is, I don't know. It'll probably work fine with an Android device, but the whole point is Apple, right? Like it's the Apple ecosystem. And are these better too is maybe another question than just like AirPods Pros, because they're bigger, they're heavier. Are they worth the extra bulk? So those are kind of the questions that we're going to be answering and talking about in this video. So let's dive in as usual, and we'll look at build and accessories and things like that, and then we'll start getting into like the function of these, and then we'll talk about sound and how it compares to some other maybe similar priced, more niche audiophile headphones and what you're getting there at the cost of some convenience. Okay, let's dive in. Okay, so these are the space gray version, and I gotta say, build-wise, I'm not disappointed in them. I think they're built really well. They feel really well. The materials maybe don't feel as nice as what I'm used to with some of the higher-end headphones. This fabric right here that's on the pads, it's really almost more of like a canvasy type material. Not that it's really that uncomfortable, but it's just not like a nice leather or a soft velour or anything like that. It seems more utilitarian than that. The suspension, the headband, it's kind of like a suspension strap built into the headband. Actually, it's like a mesh weave up here. I thought it was okay. No issues there, really. The material, obviously they're kind of plain Jane, and that's good and bad. They look okay, but really, it's kind of just like big, like metal blobs on, the top of your head here, which is a little strange perhaps. So like, I don't think that they don't look bad, and the materials feel good. It's mostly metal construction. When you're pulling out the yokes here, it's got a nice smooth, there's not clicks or anything, but it's just got a nice smooth transition, and they stay where you put them. The buttons feel good and are tactile. The wheel here is very similar to something that's going to be on like the Apple Watch, which basically means like it doesn't really have any tactile feel to it, but once the headphones are on, it kind of like does it somehow digitally, like it like clicks a little bit, but it's all digital. It doesn't it's not an analog click, it's like a digital like haptic click or something as you're turning it. It's a little weird, but it works. So all that stuff functioned just fine for me, and the build is just fine for me. The comfort, I would say, is okay. The pads are maybe a little bit smaller than what I would like. I wish it was just a little bit bigger and deeper as far as the pads go, but really they're okay, and especially for a device like this where you're gonna want to like pack it up and maybe slip it in somewhere, it's okay. I suppose the thing we need to address is the carry case thing here, or the sleeve that they come in now. I know when these first came out a while back, they just got a bunch of crap for having this sleeve thing. I guess I don't think it's that bad. I understand what they're going for here, and they're thinking that, well, you can just slip them in this as opposed to putting them in like a bigger, like all-encompassing case, and then you can still have access to like the charging port and things like that. I mean, I do think it's a little strange, but I don't really have that big of a problem with it. I thought it was okay, and I feel like it protects enough of them that I mean, I've taken them on some trips and things like that, and they still don't show any scuffs or anything because I had them in that case. So I think it got maybe more crap than it deserves, personally. But I mean, I get why some people would just want a whole case, but of course you can buy your own aftermarket case. Now, supposedly putting it in this case puts it into some sort of a sleep state, or a deeper sleep, more low power state or something, which is going to save battery more. I didn't have any issues with battery either way. I mean, I didn't try to go days without charging them, but I definitely took like a long car ride and used them for, maybe like 5 or 6 hours in the car, and they were fine. I mean, I think I'll look up real quick here what the specs are for them, but I mean, it's good battery life. So it says up to 20 hours battery life. I didn't test that, but I think certainly you're going to get a day's worth of listening out of them if you plug them in every night. Even if you're using them all day long, I think you're going to be just fine. So other features that we need to maybe talk about before we get into sound is just like pairing. I didn't try to pair these with anything but an Apple device, but if you've ever paired, AirPods or anything like that, you turn them on, you set your phone by them, and they pair instantly, and it works almost like magic, right? Like, I never paired them with my M1 Mac Mini that I edit on here, but as soon as I pulled them out and turned them on and put them on my head, because they know, right? So if they're on your head, they know to turn on, and if they're just sitting like this, it knows it's not on my head. If I take them off my head and I just set them like this, it knows that, and it kind of puts them into that low power mode. So even when I put them on my head just briefly there a moment ago, it messed up my audio, which you probably noticed there for that little bit, because it like recognized they were on and it transitioned to those instead of using my microphone and stuff like that. So all of that works kind of seamlessly as long as you understand how it operates. So pairing and stuff is great with these, right? It'll sync across all your Apple devices. That's pretty cool, the way it does that. But obviously you're not going to have that level of integration if you have an Android device. Let's talk about noise canceling before we start talking about like the sound. And the main thing that you should know about it is the noise canceling on these is phenomenal. Like, it is really amazing technology that these guys do. Terrific noise canceling, better than my in-ear Sony XM4s. I had the Sony XM3 over-ears. I think this is better than that. I have the Sennheiser Momentum 3 over-ears, and this is better than that. So this is the best noise canceling that I have heard, although, like I said, I haven't tried the latest greatest from Sony, which is also really good, or the latest greatest from Bose, which I know is really good too, but this has got to be right up there with it. I mean, riding in a car, which is where I tested it the most, I mean, it is dead silent. Like, it is crazy how much sound it eliminates. And that's a big selling point for these. So if you travel a lot and you don't like the in-ears and you want something over-ear and you're an Apple user, and you want that noise canceling, like, these are good. Like, they are excellent at that, okay? Now, what's going to prevent you from using these? If you're an average consumer and you're not an audiophile, I don't think you're going to have any qualms about the sound of the AirPods Max. I think they're pretty well tuned. I mean, I would call it a mild consumer tuning, which basically means it's slightly V-shaped, which means there's a little bit of emphasis on the bass. It means there's a little bit more energy put into the highs than is maybe neutral, like flat neutral, but it's nothing that's crazy. It's not as crazy as like the old Sony stuff. I don't know about the new Sony stuff, but like the XM3s were just wildly crazy bass and things like that. These are not that. They are pretty well tuned, I would say. Maybe if you're comparing it to something that's more audiophile, like I've got T60 Argons here, I got Sennheiser 660S that I was kind of testing these with, and those are both headphones that are like, I don't know that it's hard to know what would be a direct competitor to this. The Argons are a closed back, but they're maybe like $500-ish. Which would be what these are retailed new. The 660S is more like $400 retailed, but you can get both those on the used market for cheaper than that. And I bought my AirPods Max for, I don't know, a little over $300 on the used market. Okay. If you buy an audiophile headphone, it's going to be probably more resolving. It's going to be probably better spatial information, better imaging across the board. It's not going to sound as compressed as these do, but all of those things I think are going to be difficult to tell if you haven't heard any of those other like audiophile headphones. Like if you're coming from a set of AirPods Pros, like I think you're going to be super impressed with the sound of these. If you're coming from a cheaper set of Bluetooth headphones, you know, something that $100 or less, I think you're going to be impressed with the sound of these. Okay? Are they the end all be all in audio quality? No. And for the same price, you can get a wired set of headphones that are going to sound better, be more resolving, be more dynamic, have better spatial information. You're going to get all that, but you're also going to need some sort of an amp and DAC to drive them. And you're not going to get that noise canceling, which again is a big selling feature of these. And you're not going to get the convenience, if you're an Apple user, of being able to just seamlessly switch from devices. So I think what I'm saying is these have good enough audio quality. If this is the type of product you're looking for, these have good enough audio quality. Now, am I going to keep them? I don't think so, right? But I'm an exception. I have all these amps and DACs and portable players and things like that. So I have all these different headphones to test. I have all these different IEMs to test. I have all these different devices I can use. And I don't mind having these different dedicated listening areas with DACs and amps and things like that. So if you're an audiophile and you already have all that stuff, are these going to be better quality than, you know, the stuff that you already have that's similarly priced? No, probably not. But if you're just looking for something that's super convenient and you're an Apple user, these are not bad. They are not bad. They do okay. I'm probably going to sell them. I don't know that I have a real use case for them because my Sony XM4, you know, little earbuds, like if I'm on the go, those are probably just my go-to. Again, I don't know that they're quite as good as these noise canceling. I don't know that they sound quite as good as these, but I can put those in my pocket. Obviously, I can't do that with these. If I was a traveler, like a big time traveler that did a lot of flights or a lot of driving or subway rides every day or something like that, I would definitely keep these and invest in these, and I would use the heck out of them. But that's just, I have like a 3-minute commute, right? So I don't have a major use for these when I have all this other stuff available to me. But again, if you're looking for one headphone to have that you can travel with, that you can use at your desk, that you can use while you're lying in bed, that you can take calls on, these might be something to look at, okay? I think you'll be happy with them. Are they worth $550 or whatever they are new? That's a tough sell to me, but if you can find a set for less than $350 used, I think they're absolutely worth it for what you're getting here. So the last thing that I want to do here, that I'll leave you with, is I just want to do a mic test. I haven't done that yet. I don't take a lot of calls with headphones and things like this, but I know that's something that people are always interested in hearing. So I've been talking, you know, to an XLR mic through USB stuff through this whole time, but let me switch real quick to the microphone of the AirPods Max and we'll just see what that sounds like. Okay, so now this audio is coming from my AirPods Max. It's being recorded straight through my computer here. I haven't done anything to it. This is just raw audio. This is what it will sound like. Hopefully it sounds decent. I know it's going to be a step down from what I was using, but what you should be thinking about is this audio quality good enough to take a call or to do like a Zoom meeting with? And as long as that's okay, then I think it does its job. Okay, well, I think that's going to wrap it up. Again, it's a convenience device, right? I think it does good enough at most things that most people will be happy with their purchase. even at $500, if you're an Apple person, I mean, you're probably comfortable paying that, right? But if you don't mind looking on the used market, I think I'm seeing these regularly for $350 or less on the used market. And I think at that price, you can rest assured that you're getting one of the best noise canceling Bluetooth headphones that you can get. Maybe there's better out there. Maybe your preferences might suit, the Bose or the Sonys, but these have got to be right up there as far as the best you can get for Bluetooth headphones with tremendous noise canceling. I think that's going to do it. So if you're into headphone reviews, or if you want more headphone reviews, or you want to learn more about headphones, consider subscribing to the channel, or maybe check out, some of the links down below to playlists and things like that. And you can maybe see what else is out there besides just, some of this consumer stuff. But I mean, as far as consumer stuff goes, I think these are right up there with the best. Hope that helps. Alternative comments, experiences, any of that stuff, drop those in the comments below. I love that. And I always thank you for your time, for being with me, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.